Welcome to the Millbrook Railroad YouTube channel, and today we are at the Luzerne Valley Railroad and the wonderful world of 1-inch scale. This is 4 3/4 inch gauge, and the builder, Joe Kavanaugh, well, he recently had his funeral. But the happy story about this is the railroad is going to stay, and the family is fully behind it. Matter of fact, you'll see the family, the extended family, running around as passengers on this railroad, and a lot of people come down from Montreal to run on this railroad here in the Adirondacks of New York. Beautiful little railroad, about 2 miles of main line and a lot of Alco power. Enjoy the video.
All right, very good, Roger. Gonna well, yeah, we always go to the right in case there's a train coming. Yeah. So right hand running. Essentially, it's gonna take you out to the fourth car barn out there, and then where you have those 2 double reds, and you'll be able to go out. You have a double red, so it's probably got a train coming down from Highland. So just to keep an eye on.
So welcome to the Luzerne Valley Railway and wonderful 1-inch scale. This is 4 3/4 inch gauge track in the Adirondacks, and I'm just discovering this place for the first time, and it's absolutely amazing.
I think I've got another club to come out to.
So it's a private track, but there appears to be a club forming around it, which is wonderful. The builder recently died, and it gets to stay here.
So you guys are 3 with Sam. We'll send you guys out.
And that's
always nice.
That's a good story.
That is a lot better of a story than it could have been.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Another passenger behind the blue and red.
This is a
And then you guys will be
beautiful
4.
yard.
It certainly is. So let's just do a sweep of the yard here. So we've got car barns off to the left there. Of course, the main line on the right. A lot of these cars are homemade right here,
Seems like a lot of stuff.
and there's hundreds of them apparently. It's a very full yard for a miniature railroad yard. There's a lot of cars, and there's a lot of cars out on the line right now. There's 2-3 trains at least. So
Quite a bit of Alco power too.
and quite a bit of Rutland stuff. So that's I like that.
Yeah. I want to go look at those passenger cars up there.
So we got a milk train.
Pushing down there.
Milk train?
Yeah, hoods, delay, linger, and wait. Railway Express Agency.
Luzerne Valley.
Yeah. Kicking cars in the yard.
Cars in the yard.
And brakes.
Nice cars.
Yeah. Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the cars here are Joe's individual work.
Yeah.
Well, you can recognize this is actually a tool
Oh, it is.
lot. Yes.
Looks like a toolbox.
It's a toolbox. Well, it has handles on either end, but he labeled it for the railroad and has trucks under it and everything. And it's an official United States Army toolbox
Oh.
from World War I.
Oh,
Wow.
so a 100-year-old toolbox.
Yeah.
On wheels.
Well,
Entrenching equipment for the cavalry.
what it carried, see these slots? It carried saws so that you could, when you built a trench, you put wood, to keep the trench from falling in on you. You had a box saw, 6 crosscut saws, and 7 crosscut of a bigger size with a supplemental handle, so you could have 2 guys, and you would you'd carry this box out with you. Probably on a cavalry, it would be on a little wagon, and then you would have your tools available. So when Joe acquired it somehow, he said, "This is really historic. I'll keep it here but he actually put wheels under it so he could use it on his railroad and labeled it Luzerne Valley.
So this single boxcar has a lot more history than
Anything else that's here.
Else here, probably.
Well, the box part of it definitely
Yeah.
does.
A boxcar, yeah.
We're pretty sure he did the milk cars here.
Yeah, the big car, yeah.
The car that I'm putting down there, that Spare Time Lines car, those came from a man in Maine, we understand, who brought them here and, you know, left them to Joe. We'll put it at that. So
That happens.
Who built the little boxcar?
he did.
Man, that's nice.
Well, the thing is, when I was first here, the yard crew, see the stick laying in the gone? That was the way to move the cars in the yard. You had three guys with sticks shoving them around. And I was here and I said, gee, Joe, that isn't really, that's kind of hard. You got three guys shoving things. And so the next time or 2 times later, I came out and Daisy was here. And I said, oh, look, Joe built me a switch engine. And then,
You need to make a remote control.
well, you notice that Daisy, that's his wife,
Yeah.
actually, this car she can take it out with a rider and ride around the railroad, without having to get the big engines out.
Right,
So it just coincidentally became the switcher.
I think it's fitting that Daisy is number 1.
I'll enjoy. Come on back. Try to get lost. Well, that was Joe. You show up and he just sends you out on a train. So, if you weren't running bi-directional, I would essentially be sending people out with their own trains. But with the signals and, you keep an eye on your signals, huh, Sam? All right. Especially a lady slipper. Yeah, so the LVRR is kind of we're doing a transition with Joe's passing away, and we're looking for people to come out and help. And yeah, what's really awesome about the track here is we've got all the equipment. We're really looking for the manpower and the help to maintain the place. So yeah, we're gonna just do a little bit of a tour of kind of where Joe built primarily the tracks. This is a wood shop. So over here, he has essentially stencils for all the curves, and they're upside down, but essentially you would come in, you grab your tie and you place it, well, we got a rail on top of that, but essentially you come out and place them all along, and then on the stencil itself, he's got the radiuses of each curve and then switch that he would be building. So the how he would essentially do is he'd build them in 10-foot lengths. He'd build it here, depending on the curve or the switch, or whatever he was making, and then he'd take them out the back and load them on a flat car and bring them out to the railroad. So yeah, so this was kind of the wood shop. And yeah, so in terms of things that we have here to maintain and upkeep, it's yeah, everything is here. It's the manpower, like I mentioned earlier. Here is actually, you come out, and before he bought the house, he measured the tornado doors, the doors, to make sure that it had enough clearance to get his engines in and his cars in. So he'll in the winter, he would bring in his string of cars or his steam engines. Right there, he's got a little crossover into the basement here that goes the whole length of the house. So this lift comes up to jump the gap, and he would just roll any rolling stock up in there all the way to the other end. And then, like I was saying earlier, he was very meticulous. So he would, I wasn't kidding. This is 0.68 boards, and then you'd have a pack 0.566 boards. So he was, I don't know if I've got the file for this, but he'd have a file for every car he was building, and in there you'd have. So this is the livestock car. So it's these two cars. So in here, he would have his kit's built. All right, this is that. Then he's got a few pictures of the two stages of those cars. Then he has drawings. Then he has the Joe Kavanaugh CAD files, that a guide for everything that he was the side of the car. So he was just very he got the year on there. He was working on these there early 2023. And yeah, and then like every car you see on the railroad, he's got this all infiled and organized. This is just the way he was, just super meticulous and super prototypical. He started in HO, and then he got into 1 inch. He was actually from Jersey Life Steamers, and then he got into 1 inch, and yeah, he moved out here, joined ALS, and yeah, started building his railroad in 2004. So I'll control a little bit of the HO layout that he used to have. So it's one of his steamers he's got there.
I get one of those.
Yeah, nice Pacific, yeah. Yeah, he's always very proud of his lathe. He's a 100-year-old lathe, and I'm the second owner of it, and it's probably gonna outlive me. And yeah, so he was very proud, and just the detail. I don't know if you guys saw some of the milk cans out there. He had like 100 and some of the milk cans. So he would just cast every part and turn every part, and yeah. So this is essentially machining, the machine shop / projects. We've been kind of going through some of his HO stuff to figure out what's the next step for them, but this was essentially yeah, and he's got files for everything. He was building a 1 inch Mikado. That's a 1 inch Mallet. So it's a 4-cylinder engine. He ran that all the time. That was a beautiful piece. Yeah, and one of the things he was super proud of, he has all his awards here upstairs. He actually got in, I think it was in 2022, 2021, he actually got the Master Modeler Award with Ken Nelson. I think they both got it at the same time. I don't know if it was 2022 or 2021, but he was super proud of that. There's a nice picture with him holding it, and yeah, but just model railroad engineer, electrical, model railroad, civil, and it's just the stuff he built is just, you guys saw. I mean, you get a sense of it, and then this on the other side is his HO layout, which he would always tell me moved 2 or 3 times before he got here, and this he built it modular. So he had set this up modular, and he would tell me, see that cutout there? I had an air duct at my old place, and I cut that out because it didn't clear the air ducts, and this is kind of part of the HO Club Wednesday night group that they would come and operate before he was here. So this railroad hasn't seen much use since since he's been here, because obviously he's been building out there. But yeah, and yeah. So it's kind of a little bit of the shop here and what he has and what he's built over the years. So whatever he built, he just he would go all out. You know, it's, and I'm surprised because like I would talk to people, it's like, no, I don't know, Joe. I don't know. It's just like, you guys got it. You know, I knew through 1 inch scale, and then I came to Joe's before I went to ALS. But then it's like, how you got this wealth of knowledge here? You know, you have this guy who you could just sit, and sometimes I'd ask him a question, and he said, oh, okay, and he'd come out and pull out a folder with all the signals, the wiring, the electronic boards, everything he did, and how he went about it, and it's just, we can't possibly let it go to waste, so we're just looking at preserving it and keeping the legacy alive. I think we're gonna do pretty good, I think. And then so we have some of the milk cans here that he had molded. So you would pour. This is the molding / painting, finer details, little soldering station that, But essentially, this is all the milk. I've got an email where essentially goes and shows, and he molded this part, and then the caps, and then these were actually models that came out bad, and he goes, oh well, the caps don't fit, or I don't have enough caps, and I don't want to cast new. So he was going to put them down on the platforms as if milk had spilled, and it was a can that fell open kind of thing. So just attention to detail. This is molds for steps off an engine. He just he would cast his own molds for everything, and yeah. This is probably a window. I think that's a window for one of the buildings out there, and yeah. But it's funny because you talk to him, it's like, Joe, how? Where? And he go, eh. And you're like, Joe, I don't think you understand. Like, this is amazing what you built. And he's like, yeah, okay. I was talking to one of his good friends here, John Henchar. His name's on the railroad as well. And it's like, did Joe ever talk to you? He's an old club member from Jersey, and what's the plan? What's the next thing? John said, well, all he told me was, it's not my problem. It's not going to be my problem anymore, So it's like, okay, yes, true. But, to build something like this and then be like, we'll see what happens, It's not going to be my problem anymore. So, yeah. And it's, as, this here is like a tester for board, for the signals out there. So essentially, when you guys were operating the signal system, we plug in the boards in here, and then you can simulate occupation and make sure that the output gives a green or a red. So he'd build jigs like this where, all right, occupation there, this light should go on, or approach from this side, so this is how we test the boards. And Ken Cameron knows a little more about the electronics aspect of it. I've done and upkept, but he actually rebuilt boards with Joe. So, and eventually we're going to see maybe about going maybe into Arduinos and swapping out some of the stuff into just different program. Okay, this is a Type 3 board, program it as a Type 3 board, plug and play, and so yeah. Yeah, that's about it. It's this shop down here, and yep, he's gonna be missed for sure.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this visit to the Luzerne Valley Railroad in the Adirondacks of New York. If you did like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. It's a little something different. We're normally 7 1/4 and 7.5 inch gauge, but this stuff is good too. It runs on rails, so it's fun, right? So hit that thumbs up button if you did like it. If we earned it, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification icon helps you not miss a single video. And if you'd like to support the channel in a more substantial way, you can always go to patreon.com/Millbrook Railroad and help us visit more places like this railroad here. And as always, hope you have yourself a great day.